As Budget 2026 draws nearer, we continue to discuss all aspects of the budget, the expectations, the wish list of different sectors. Joining us on the show is Manoj Mishra, partner and tax controversy management leader at Thornton Bharat, to really understand what is the wish list for indirect tax collection, one of the primary growth and revenue drivers for the government. Mr. Mishra, thank you very much for taking time out for joining us on the show. Let me quickly begin by setting the tone for how the year has been. It's been a phenomenal year as far as GDP numbers is concerned. In the first half of financial year 26 alone, India has recorded and clocked great figures, about 8% in first half alone as far as official figures is concerned. Do you think the time is now ripe for some dramatic changes and reforms in indirect tax collection and policies related to taxation?
Thanks. So first, let's understand that most of or I would say the major changes has already been taken place in GST in September, where we have seen that a lot of ease of doing business and like rate reduction, which benefited around like 350 items which are being used by consumers directly. So, of course, a major overhaul has already taken place. Now, it is a time that we should cement our position and make GST really a good and simple tax. So, if I have to give some kind of data point, as I mentioned, that 350 plus item become cheaper because of GST 2.0. Like it has given around 1.8 to 2 lakh crore additional amount in the hands of consumer, which will definitely get into economy and boost economy further and create employment. So it is a circle which is working in favor of India. And you rightly mentioned, in terms of GDP, we are doing phenomenal and exceeding expectations. And like when GST 2.0 came and when rate reductions took place, there was a fear that it may derail our GDP growth. But surprisingly, it boosted our economy in a better way. And year-on-year growth, we are despite reduction in the rates, we have seen growth in GST collection. So overall, sentiments are good. The exchequers have done a bit of for GST. Now, as I mentioned, there are some procedural changes. Even in GST, we do not expect major policy changes in budget because that is being taken care of by GST Council.
That's right.
And yeah,
that's right. Let's quickly talk about what you mentioned by the way of an important update post GST rationalization, where we finally got rid of that complex multi-tier structure and came up with a two-tier structure, making it perhaps easier not just for businesses but also for consumers to understand how they are taxed. And that resulted in massive consumption boom. Now, this country is primarily driven by consumption, at least that's what last year has shown us. In that view, as well as keeping in view that headline inflation numbers are also within, the band of the RBI, can we look at some sort of, a radical tax reforms, because they are structurally difficult? We've already seen some last year, but is your expectation now that we're looking at more tax reforms, come budget or after that perhaps, since, GST is not the mandate of the government alone, the changes are made often by GST Council, will be made by GST Council, but are you looking at some sort of changes going forward in the budget session perhaps?
In the budget session, definitely there are going to be some changes to take care of announcement made in GST 2.0. Like there could be change in the definition for intermediary, like point of supply for intermediaries, to get rid of age-old litigation related to exports being done by the service industries in India. So we'll get rid of that finally. Then they are also planning to rationalize discounts being offered. So that is again going to be made simple. And for that, they need legislative amendments. So these two amendments are definitely on the cards. Apart from that, if we talk about wish list, definitely there are few, and since we are intellectuals and argumentative people. So definitely we find and our wish list is become long with every
Right.
kind of announcements they make.
Okay.
So if you allow
Now,
me 2 minutes,
before you
I
come to the wish list, I want to talk about one wish list. I think one wish that has been on forever now, and that is bringing petroleum products under GST. Now, the government collected nearly 36 lakh crore rupees by the way of excise duty on petroleum products. There is a long pending wish list that petrol and diesel should be brought under GST. Do you see that happening at all?
It will happen. It will
Okay.
definitely happen, but definitely not in this budget. So,
Okay.
though we wish that it should be, but you know that it is a very, very sensitive issue, and states get like revenue from the petroleum products, and their rates in some cases would be more than 20-25% in some of the states. So they are not going to give up that easily. So yes, it will come. It will see the light of the day when it will get included in GST. But as like personally, I don't feel don't think that this is the budget where they are going to announce that. So
Okay. Okay,
yeah,
hopefully sometime. It's
yeah,
politically difficult, but let's also
yeah.
talk about that wish list as far as indirect taxes is concerned. What are you hoping? You know, 56th GST Council meeting, just to give a precursor to our viewers, did make some radical changes, changing the way one sees GST from optimization now to perhaps utilization. We are entering a growth phase when it comes to indirect tax collection. What is the industry wish list?
So industry business first is that inclusion of GST paid on services while granting refund in certain cases, specifically the inventory duty structure. So in inventory duty structure, they pay if your inputs are higher than your output, you'll get refund of that. But unfortunately, that only counts for the taxes you have paid on goods and not on the services, which in some cases become a very huge sum of money which get stuck and become ultimately become cost. So that is a demand from the industry for a long time. Hopefully, if the government will listen to that, and since they are making things easier, refund process easier, they will also consider this demand and include GST paid on services as part of refund for all, like especially for inverted duty structure. Second would be that harmonizing on audit under GST. So like earlier, it used to be central government or the state government. Now, since GST is managed by both states as well as the center, so you have and like during the year you have various authorities coming out for audit, and that hamper your day-to-day working because you'll have to involve a lot of your resources for this audit purpose only. So maybe they will clarify, or they will have a proper system that only one particular authority will be doing that audit, and there would not be multiple audits. Then after GS20 2.0, there were a lot of hue and cry related to transitional compensation cess on various, on specifically on car. So hopefully they'll think of something related to that, and as an amount of around 2,500 crores are stuck there. So that is, and in another point would be that. Recently they brought in a appeal mechanism where they say that even in penalty only cases you'll have to pay 10% as pre-deposit to file your appeal. uh, whereas they have also bring in a provision where even individuals, there can be penalty on individuals as well, and it
Right.
can be staff, it can be director. So suppose a company get so-called notice or demand of say 10 crore, 12, 10 crore, 20 crore.
Okay.
So payment of 10%, like 1 crore or 2 crore by an individual who is an employee, would be like denying justice
That's right.
to that particular person. So
All right.
maybe there is a demand that at least in case of individual penalties, they will give away, away the requirement of pre-deposits of 10%.
Right.
So that is the GST wish list. If you talk in terms of rates, maybe agriculture, sector is talking about uniform 5%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a long wish list. Unfortunately, I've completely run out of time, Mr. Manoj Mishra. Thank you very much. Pleasure speaking to you here on News 9.